A trusted friend just used his own ninja art to attack the woman who trained him. No warning, no hesitation. If a Fuuma Clan officer can turn traitor overnight, every alliance inside this ninja world is basically fake. Stick around, because the guy everyone dismissed as the weak one ends up running the whole rebellion cleanup. Welcome back to the channel that ruins every Taimanin storyline for you, so smash like and subscribe right now. September 2082, somewhere between Fuuma territory and the shadier corners of Nisha Clan business dealings. But alliances in this universe are paper thin, honestly, held together by favors nobody actually wants to owe. Gaiza serves the Fuuma Clan on paper, yet everyone around him treats that loyalty like a formality at best. And that tension, the quiet resentment nobody addresses directly, is exactly what sets this whole arc off. Fuuma Kotaro starts this story as basically nobody's first pick, a guy people tolerate more than respect. Gaiza used to be his friend, back when strength differences between them apparently didn't matter as much. Now Gaiza looks at Kotaro and sees weakness, sees a Taimanin standing that never earned its own reputation. Muroi Mitsuhiko is hiding something bigger though, a title nobody in the room is prepared to hear out loud. He's the first of Nomad, which honestly sounds like a throwaway rank until you see what he brings with him. Frustration doesn't stay quiet forever, and Gaiza's patience with Kotaro finally runs completely out. Loyal members of both Nisha and Fuuma clans start rallying behind Gaiza instead of the official chain of command. This isn't a duel anymore, it's the opening move of an actual rebellion nobody saw building this fast. Kotaro and his group rush toward Igawa Asagi's office, the moment word of the attack reaches them. They arrive to find Gaiza already using his ability against her. No diplomacy, no warning shot, just aggression. That single image tells you everything. This was never a misunderstanding, it was a planned strike. Right as the fight peaks, Muroi Mitsuhiko drops his mask and reveals himself as first of Nomad outright. He doesn't join with words either, he brings an ogre into the fight, a demon beast fully under his command. Gotta be honest, an outside faction backing an internal clan revolt is a wild escalation nobody prepared for. The Nomad-assisted assault fails though, which is honestly the first real crack in Gaiza's entire plan. Gaiza and his loyalists retreat, but they don't leave empty-handed, taking a large chunk of Nisha Clan with them. Asagi, somehow, walks away from this impressed by Kotaro instead of shaken by the attack itself. She hands him command of a brand new independent commando unit, which honestly nobody saw coming. Hebiko and Shikanosuke become the first two members, still cleaning up messes just like they always have. This is the actual turning point people skip past. A rebellion accidentally builds Kotaro's entire career. Kiryu Sabato storms out of Gosha village after getting grilled about his knowledge of Muroi Mitsuhiko's identity. Yatsu Murasaki wants him found, and she sends Kotaro's unit straight into Tokyo Kingdom to track him down. She hands Kotaro a sealed envelope with one condition. Sabato is never allowed to see what's inside it. Hebiko and Shikanosuke go in first, and instead of finding Sabato, they spend the day dodging animal drones. He ends up gambling in Club Persona of all places, striking a deal with a masked woman called Madame. The trade is simple on paper, secure some data at a research base, and she gives up Sabato's location. During the infiltration, Kotaro quietly makes 2 copies of the data, which honestly nobody asked him to do. That location turns out connected to UFS, and suddenly this simple favor looks a lot more complicated. An alarm trips the whole operation, and Kokowa Asuka appears out of nowhere to bail the team out. She vanishes using cloaking right after, leaving everyone more confused about her allegiance than before. A massive exoskeleton attacks next, and the team barely regroups with Murasaki before things get worse. Turns out Murasaki was after that same data the entire time, which explains a lot about her hidden mission. They decide to send Kotaro back in alone to finalize the deal with Madame, which feels like a gamble. Madame already found Sabato and trades him over, though Sabato reacts like a wounded kid the whole time. He wanted only Murasaki to retrieve him personally, still stung that she once doubted his loyalty at all. Kotaro hands over the sealed envelope, and, surprisingly, Sabato joins the unit without further argument. But Kotaro can't shake the theory that Asuka works for Madame, which would tie her straight to UFS somehow. Madam almost turns hostile the second that theory gets voiced out loud in front of her. Shikanosuke signals Murasaki, who lands a hit on Madame's body, but a ninja art lets her slip away clean. Rumors spread about a haunted Western-style castle appearing whenever rain hits near Gosha Academy. Yukikaze gives him grief in the corridor first, questioning whether he actually earned this new leadership role. She softens slightly, hearing he leads the commando unit now, admitting he isn't just a pampered slacker. They run into Dobashi Gonza, one of Gaiza's men, also hunting for this so-called ghost lady in the rain. More of Gaiza's men show up guarding it, alongside actual succubus demons defending the location itself. Shikanosuke gets separated, but manages to dispel the illusion, revealing it's Mizuki Shiranui's water art. He finds her in a cave, but doesn't recognize her, genuinely convinced for a moment that she's a real ghost. By the time the others catch up, Shiranui has already vanished, leaving Shikanosuke briefly unconscious from shock. Deeper in the cave, they encounter more incubus demons and their leader, the white succubus herself. After the white succubus is defeated, her spell collapses the cave, forcing everyone to scramble out fast. Gonza reports back to Gaiza afterward, admitting Nomad's intel about the gate was basically worthless. Meisaki City, next stop, investigating a string of demon attacks nobody could explain yet. Kotaro's team runs into Lilim and Minasaki, demons quietly profiting off capturing escaped beasts. Kurowadami Pharmaceuticals had been experimenting on a dark wasp queen, and it slipped their control completely. Still young now, this queen would eventually need human meat once it reached full adulthood nearby. Given how close the city sits, that queen has to go before it becomes an actual population threat. Once she's taken down, every other wasp under her simply drops dead. No exceptions, no survivors left standing. Lilim and Minasaki grab a dead wasp for profit immediately, and honestly, Kotaro just lets it slide this time. During training with Shikanosuke, Kotaro gets pulled into a Zero Universe-style world without warning. He runs into a much younger Sakura there, who immediately assumes he's some kind of creep and chases him. With Rinko's help, the group tracks down the real culprit, an octopus-like enemy pulling the strings. Kotaro, Rinko, and Sakura confront this being Arcel, who tries excusing himself before showing his real danger. In the end, the younger Sakura stays stranded there, a loose thread this arc never actually resolves. Now here's the part that actually matters, the part everyone skips past for the flashier demon fights. Yukikaze learns some Taimanins still resent Kotaro over the whole Nisha ninja troop revolt he never caused. She knows that resentment is unfair, and honestly, she's one of the only ones who says it plainly. So, she arranges a mock battle, deliberately choosing the weaker side just to make a quiet point. Yukikaze loses on purpose, letting the resentful Taimanin vent everything they've been carrying against Kotaro. That's not weakness, gotta say. That's someone spending her own reputation to fix a problem she didn't create. Kotaro never even asked for that kind of protection, which somehow makes the gesture land even harder. After all the chaos, Asagi still schedules mock battles under Yatsumurasaki's notoriously harsh supervision. Kamimura Maika and Yubashiri Hayate struggle at first, clearly unused to fighting as an actual coordinated pair. Their final test opponent ends up being Igawa Asagi herself, which forces real cooperation almost instantly. Here's the twist nobody talks about. The rebellion meant to remove Kotaro is the reason he got promoted. Gaiza wanted him gone for being weak, and instead handed him command of an entirely new unit. I don't think Gaiza's ideology was wrong exactly. I think his timing and his methods were just catastrophic. Kotaro never planned any of this. The whole command position landed on him because everyone else failed him. The independent commando unit exists today because one rebellion tried to erase the guy who now leads it. Honestly, I don't think Gaiza was the real villain here, just a guy impatient with a system that never explained itself. Maybe this whole story is less about raw strength and more about who sticks around long enough to actually matter. I could be wrong about Yukikaze's motives, but that mock battle still feels like the most human moment in this arc. See you in the next video, because this franchise never runs out of ways to completely surprise me. If you want more breakdowns like this dropped weekly, hit subscribe before you scroll away from this channel.